just spend the first couple minutes of the stream tweeting out and sharing the link because I was busy rambling. Okay, come on. Acknowledge that I've gone live. Okay. Okay, well, welcome to the whoops, I did not switch Discord to the right thing, so y'all can't hear my special guests today. Give me a second. You show audio devices. Somebody speak to see if this is working today.
So,
Okay.
who's here out of the country?
I just need to get my headphones on so I can actually hear what he said. I don't know. My mic is flipped over.
The magic of technology, ladies and gentlemen.
Professional streamer, aren't I? Come on. Sorry, I got busy discussing something with Zion a second ago, and okay. Hello?
Yo. Can you hear me?
Why can't I hear anything?
Oh. Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. We have some technical difficulties.
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Why can't I hear anything in the headphone? Hello?
Yo, can you hear me?
Welcome to Them Pony Comics panel, part 2, the Fan Comics edition, where we start off every stream with some kind of technical difficulties.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm here.
Apparently, I can't. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, I had to leave the call and rejoin it. Okay.
And now I'm hearing you on both sides.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to mute my other account. Okay. So, welcome to the Them Pony Comics Part 2 panel. Why is it still the black screen? Oh, I paused the video, that's why. Okay.
You paused your own stream?
It's in the live studio on YouTube. It shows the version of the stream, but if I play that, it messes with my internet, so I can't watch the stream while I'm streaming. So I had to pause it, and I paused it when it was still a black screen. Anyways, even though I already introduced the panel, welcome to the Them Pony Comics panel. This is fine. 2 Them Pony Comics panels in one weekend. Part 2. Part 1 was yesterday. This is the final time that I'll be running the Them Pony Comics panel format. I'm messing with the format. I'm still going to have these kind of streams at conventions. Just this particular panel format is being retired. And so I figure let's dedicate the entire final panel to fan comics, which is something I keep trying to sneak into the Them Pony Comics format, but it never seemed to work out. So instead of talking IDW comics, we're going to talk fan comics. I am joined today by my editor, Zion Craze.
Alright, so I'm here for the official IDW comics, and wait, am I late for that?
Yeah, that was yesterday. Zion was stressed out from work, so he couldn't show up yesterday.
And I don't want to go into details why.
Yeah, and the other person is, again, Anime Wolf Gamer.
Wait, hello if we're live. I didn't got the notice.
I can't really hear you very well, but at least I can hear something, unlike yesterday.
Well, okay. Let's just hope it doesn't. Let's just hope nothing bad happens. But
Yes, knock on wood. Anyways, so I guess we'll go with a tried and true question regarding anything comic related. Fan comics. What are your favorites that exist within the My Little Pony fandom? Do you actively watch any on like DeviantArt or Tumblr or Twitter?
okay, well, here's two that I can remember that were these were a long time ago. One got deleted. One, unfortunately, the blog got taken down. I don't know why. The other happens to be famous with the double rainbow. Like, okay, one of the comics, the double rainbow guy. Before he made that fan episode, did you know that he made a comic following Pinkie Pie called the Ballad of Pinkie Pie, I believe. It follows her, going through this carnival thing, and there's like, weird shenanigans happen and all that. Yeah, that's one that I remember.
I don't remember that one. I do have some I want to talk about, but I have a bad habit of just taking over the stream and being the only one talking. So I'm letting you guys answer first.
No, I am not familiar with that one.
Yeah, like it's like I feel like that man, I actually really like that comic that he made a long time ago. I don't know if he finished it though. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't, but man, that was actually a really good Pinkie Pie comic. I just wish it was a long time ago, but and to talk about the other comic, the other one that I remember the most was I think it was like Slice of Life something. Dang it. I don't remember the
Slice of Life.
Like, okay, that's the name?
Yeah, it is literally called Slice of Life.
Yeah, like the one that followed Pound the bakery twins.
Pound and Pumpkin.
Yes, those. Yes, I remember that was the one that I followed the most, and man, that was such a good comic.
If you wonder what I'm doing while you guys are answering is I'm sharing out the stream because I forgot to do it before we started. So if I look distracted, I am.
Yeah.
Because I'm the only one on camera. So you can actually see me be distracted. Okay, well, I
Yeah,
don't think I
I'm
need to share the
just
link
seeing him.
LunyCon panel, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm just looking on Tumblr at the moment, and I still technically follow it to this day, and it says, "Don't contact me about this blog." Something must have happened.
Okay,
But that one I am very familiar with.
Got yelled at for posting the link in the wrong channel on this Discord. There it is, the live stream. Okay.
Anyway, I actually have
one
a
more
few.
Discord to share this in. I can start paying attention again.
But anyway, I've got a few fan comics that I actually read. There's one I actually bought when I was at Brony Scott, and you probably might know it. Silly Lyra.
Like Silly Lyra.
I finally shared things out so I can pay attention. You might need to turn down your mic a bit, Anime Wolf Gamer. Apparently you're a bit loud or clipping or something.
Ah, damn, my bad.
It's something I can probably fix, because Discord allows me to do that. Give me a second. You're at 200%. I lowered you to 143%. Hopefully that changes something. Okay. So did you guys answer your old favorites or current favorite fan comics? Because I have a couple I want to discuss, but I don't want to, again, take over the entire stream. So
I answered one current favorite that I have, and I've actually got a few more current ones that I like as well. But if you want to say some, go ahead.
Okay, well, the ones that I actively follow. There's one, even though I'm not a fan of their interpretation of the future of the Fallout Equestria universe, it's still an interesting comic. I believe they are only posting it to DeviantArt with their recent DeviantArt update. Pain in the butt to use the site, but you know, I forget what it's called. I could probably quickly look at DeviantArt. I somehow have a window open for that for some reason, but it's on my other account, so that's not helpful at all. So never mind. But basically, it's, I don't know how far into the future it takes place, but it's kind of like a sequel to the original Fallout Equestria, where the NCR, now formally established as one of the major governments in the Equestrian Wasteland, actually removes Little Pip from the SPP, putting someone who has been trained to control the weather in place. And it shows Little Pip readjusting to not being in the SPP, and like how things have drastically changed in the number of years since she sacrificed what she sacrificed to take control of the SPP. The main plot being that Little Pip had promised, spoiler alert for those who haven't read Fallout Equestria, that she would free Celestia's soul from being trapped in the SPP security mainframe. And so it's not complete. It's still ongoing. You get like a page every couple of like months. And so it has recently, as far as I know, like within the past year or so, started. So nothing crazy has happened. And even though I don't like some of the interpretations that this person has taken towards the future of the Fallout Equestria universe, because I think they're not taking into account a lot of the other side fics that I take into account, it's still interesting. There's definitely an interesting interpretation of where the universe was going. And it also has a really cute art style. Then there was a few ones I used to follow, mainly Tumblr blogs. I don't know if they're currently still getting updates, but Discordant Hooves was definitely an interesting one. I think that was like one of the few ones that I actually went back in their Tumblr like archive and spent like 2 or 3 days like trying at least to read the entirety of the comic instead of just jumping in whenever I discovered it.
That's it.
And then there was another one that was tangentially connected. It was called like Docs in a Box, where it had a bunch of Doctor Who's, Tumblrs, combined.
Yeah.
Like
all
something happened
together.
and all their TARDISes were combining, and they were all stuck inside this like universe that was just all their TARDISes kind of becoming one TARDIS. So you had every like Doctor Who's Tumblr at the time show up in this. You had Discordant Hooves. You had
Cartoon Hooves.
You had like the Master Doctor Who's. You had like a whole bunch of other ones, and it was interesting. But that one I didn't go back and read their entire archive, so I was a little lost coming into that one. But it was interesting. But I don't really go on Tumblr. It's kind of fallen from grace as a site. Like, I think I have a Tumblr for Comic Sans Pony, but I haven't like visited it in years. So I haven't kept up with that, but that was one I used to watch. And if I think of any others, I had a few others and then I forgot them. So, yeah, those are the ones I was aware of. I know my friend of mine, I'm not really friends with him. I know of him. I don't really talk to him that much. But Snogwitz is working on like a fan comic. I don't know if it's MLP or just an original content. But that's pretty cool. It's called Colt Dunham or something.
I still remember Doc in the Box.
I mean, I can't draw to save my life, so anyone who can make a fan comic is pretty cool in my book.
I still remember Doc in the Box. Like, yeah, that was like the closest thing I ever seen to what Doctor Who series I ever been exposed to.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. I don't know if they ever resolved what was causing all their TARDISes to collide, but it was interesting that it was also separate from any ongoing stories on their particular Tumblrs. Like, it was in the distant future or far past of the individual stories, so it wouldn't interfere with any current arc they were doing on their individual Tumblrs. I can't speak. Tumblrs. Yesterday I was occasionally drinking water. Today I'm drinking coconut water. In case you're wondering what I'm drinking. Because I'm on camera, so you can see everything I do. I have not figured out a way to have my guests show up on camera. Not that my internet would probably be able to handle 3 different internet streams. Internet video streams. I totally know how all this stuff works. I'm not a boomer. I'm not old enough to be a boomer. I know how to use technology.
Should I also mention? I want to turn my attention to this cat. I forgot. There's this there's actually a fan comic called Ask the Student 6. It's a really cute series.
I think I heard about that one.
Yeah, it's by an artist by the name of Sintakar. I don't know how to pronounce this, but man, that art style is just so adorable.
Oh yeah, there's another one that I actually went back and read the entire archive. Was the pronunciation is so ridiculous. Japalik or something like that. It was the one that was connected to the Pony.Mauve series.
The Pony.Mauve. Doesn't that bring me back?
Basically the Applejack from Pony.Mauve was there for her episode, but then disappears from the series, and at the end she comes back through this portal and she's like, I had this adventure, and no one wants to hear about it because there was a whole Tumblr blog that showed this adventure, apparently following overdosing on apples. She somehow ended up in the prime My Little Pony universe and had to save that universe from some eldritch apple abomination that she solved in the only way she knows, by somehow eating it.
Okay. Oh wait. So I actually know the whole blog you're mentioning. So all those posts of all those jokes that the Pony.Mauve Applejack's been doing, that directly referenced that final act in the Pony.Mauve series.
Oh yeah, it was basically Applejack as they rename themselves, Japalik or something. Just what was there for the Apples.Mauve, but then didn't show up for any of the rest of the arc, only to appear right at the end, and the other characters just don't want to hear what she's talking about. They think she's talking crazy because she was busy having her own adventure. It was actually a pretty interesting story. It had a pretty apathetic, kind of cruel, like Applejack character react to the Pony.Mauve Apple Bloom dying and kind of going through a character arc where she becomes a kinder individual because she accidentally ends up in the prime My Little Pony universe in which swears don't exist and everybody and all her friends are actually kind individuals, and it kind of she becomes a better person, Pony, over the course of the thing, becoming a hero, saving that universe and apparently the entire like multiverse from this like abomination that was Apple themed, only to find a way back to her universe, and none of her actual friends care.
So like it's like My Little Pony, Infinite Crisis.
Oh, I turned off my headphones accidentally. Give me a second.
It's like My Little Pony, Infinite Crisis.
Power on, please.
Where they all must team up with their old selves from different
Hello?
universes. Yes, hello. Dang it.
Yeah.
Still pairing.
Don't forget to mute yourself.
Why is Bluetooth not work? God dang it. Hold on a second. Okay.
Well,
Sorry. I absentmindedly touched my headphone and disconnected my sound. Anyways, I only went back and read through the entire Japple Leak Tumblr because of the mention of it at the end. I'm like, wait, what other adventure? What cosmic being did you defeat? And then it's like a rabbit hole that I went down. Any other fan comics y'all want to talk about?
Okay, wait.
yeah, there is.
Oh wait, you first, Zion.
Okay. Well, you know how you mentioned Crisis on Infinite Earths? I got one that's also kind of DC themed here as well.
Oh, what would that be?
That would be Green Lantern Apple Bloom, done by Akuma TH.
Oh yeah, you mean the guy who also is part of the Death Battle research team?
Yes, that same one.
Yeah, I think now you mention it, wasn't there also like a bunch of different Green Lantern stuff, like Yellow Lantern, Twilight, Green Lantern, Fluttershy? I think those are the only two that I remember.
Yeah, it was Green Lantern, Fluttershy, Orange Lantern, Rarity, but they haven't updated for about 2 years now.
And that
I'm
and
currently looking up a certain comic. So if I look distracted, stream, I am.
Anyway, and he also does another My Little Pony themed one as well, Twilight and the Ministry, which is basically Twilight and Spike have been banished from Equestria, so a cloaked guy takes him to his ministry, and he's called the Undertaker. No, not that Undertaker.
yeah, I know that's my first thought too.
Seriously, I even asked that question as well.
And anyways, you like to add Awok?
Okay,
Well,
so-
you know, to add to that like DC comic theme. Well, I don't know if people know this. There was a Marvel theme comic blog that I followed a long time ago. I think I forgot what the name is, but his entire theme was, bringing the My Little Pony characters and giving them all Marvel origin story.
Oh, that's interesting. And
So, who was who?
Okay, if I remember correctly, I think let's see now. I know the one that I recognized the most was Octavia being Dr. Octopus, obviously because Octavia just replaced the rest with Octopus and all that. So what was the other? And I think the other one was I think it was Captain America as Applejack. That was interesting. It was a long time ago. It's that blog hasn't been updated since 2017, which is a shame because he was like in the middle of a story arc, and I kind of was interested in that, but that was never concluded. I'm guessing the artist moved on from that.
Yeah, a lot of there's some fan comics that I can't remember like exactly which ones, but like the artist moves on from the fandom, moves on from the idea, like they just get stuck, and it just kind of sucks that you don't get to see the conclusion to the comic sometimes. Although I'm going to bring a comic on screen, which is only has one comic strip for it, but it was commissioned by Zion based on an actual conversation that I had with him at BronyCon.
I know which one you're talking about.
It was commissioned from Lightning Bliss, actually. And if I transition to it zoomed in more, we have me
and you're
just...
covering me up as well, you Kate.
We had me not recognize who he is because I hadn't seen him in person, at least in a while. And it's just like, and I'm really bad with faces. So it's like, who are you? It's like, I'm your editor! And then, we get shipped by Sweetie Bloom.
Yeah, that's the only part of the story that's actually true.
It's great. A lot of fan comics are basically that. They're, commissioned, funny little instances from real life that are turned into pony. My nose itches. It's gonna be awkward. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. The fact that I'm on screen and on video and you can see everything I'm doing, it just makes things super awkward when I have to, like, itch my nose and whatnot.
And I can see your ponies in the background as well.
Huh?
Yeah, I can see your ponies in the background next to the fridge.
I mean, yeah, I guess I guess you can see them way over there. Unfortunately, couldn't get a good background with them in it. Instead, you get to see my messy bed, and the rest of my apartment. It's more of a studio apartment, versus an actual apartment. Anyway, it's not that the studio apartment isn't an apartment, but yeah, way over there is my collection of pony plushies. I have, just to completely derail this stream, I have a Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, and Rainbow Dash from 40E. I have a Sweetie Belle from, I believe, Plushie Parlor, signed by the voice actor for Sweetie Belle, even though signing plush minky fabric never ends well, so you can't really tell what it says anymore. I have a Philly Chrysalis, not sure who the artist is. A Philly Derpy, again, don't know who the artist is, but it was actually one of the first plushies I ever got at Nightmare Nights, like their second or so year in operation before they closed down. Then on the next shelf up is my OC plushie. You can't see it, but also there's a Blackjack plushie and a plushie of Megaspell, the mascot for Nuclear Horseman Studios, again made by the Plushie Parlor. And then I have other plushies like a Paris Bride and Eevee. But yeah, anyways, bringing it back to fan comics, this is not the this is not the share your plushie collection panel. Although
Yeah, besides, I'd beat you.
you distracted me.
Right. Well, I do have some more of my favorite fan comics here. One of them isn't a particular one-off comic. It's more like general comics in general. Bob the Dalek.
Never heard of that one. I used to be really big into finding the My Little Pony Doctor Who crossover stuff, but the only My Little Pony crossover that I actively engage in is Fallout Equestria. Equestria. Not sure why I just Fallout Equestria. Because in case you're unaware, shout out to Nuclear Horseman Studios, which just released the Ministry of Awesome episode of our Storyteller series. It's a lore series with a bit of a plot. Yeah, so that's the main. That's like a lot of my focus goes to nowadays. That, my Reddit channel, and then in third place, my comic reviews. Unfortunately. But, yeah. Actually, speaking of Nuclear Horseman Studios, I've been tossing around the idea in my head to make a comic based on, like, the in-universe happenings of NHS. But it's just, like, finding the artist is difficult. I think we had someone at one point, but they couldn't draw Megaspell, the ghoulified mascot. They could draw her as a pony, but they couldn't make her ghoulified for some reason. It just was beyond their skill, so we kind of shelved the idea. I think I turned it into like a fiction thing on FimFiction. That's like Megaspell's diary. But it would be cool to have a comic based on the Storyteller series or one of my other Fallout Equestria related things. But it probably won't happen. Mounting the idea of a fan project in general, I guess, or a fan comic, can be a struggle, especially if you have no artistic skills, bunch of ideas, and such. Finding artists that are available to make that, which I do commission artists, pay your artist people.
Yes,
the
pay your artist,
number
pay
one
your
way to get an artist to do what you want them to do is actually commission them, as long as you're not breaking any of their terms regarding commissions. If you pay them, you're more likely to get the art done. Exposure box do not pay rent. Yeah, don't pay rent. Can't speak today. Fortunately, can't pay rent and exposure. Pay your artist, people. That has been a PSA with Comic Sans Pony.
So, do you want me to recommend any more fan-made comics?
I mean, if you actually have examples, I can actually bring them on screen if you want.
I have another one. I have another one, but I don't know.
These art.
Sorry, like I did have another one, but I don't know if that should be brought up screen because it's a little like on the gore side. Not the heavy gore. Don't know if that is allowed here.
Oh yeah, I was wondering what is the limit?
I believe technically supposed to be like maximum PG as far as the stream goes.
I think this passes.
Try to avoid swearing. Basically, we only get one F-bomb.
Well, if we can, like, why not show that comic on screen that I mentioned about the Student 6?
I did see the link. Let me just bring it up. Again, the art that I'm about to show is by, and I'm probably gonna butcher this name, but Sintakara, Sintakhra on DeviantArt. So just so I give credit where credit is due. Actually, there might be an easier way to download it, but whatever. Okay, let me just find that art. I just brought down to my computer. There it is. Okay, and transition. There we go. Yeah, this is the art that Anime Wolf Gamer. I can't speak today. Anime Wolf Gamer was talking about. Ask the Student 6. Apparently, it's the concept of an Ask blog from like Tumblr, but apparently they do post it to Tumblr. They also post it to DeviantArt, and such. So yeah, actually, that's right. I really like the art style. So yeah, you should go totally follow them on Tumblr or DeviantArt, because there's some pretty cool looking art. A lot of the other fan comics that I watch are more of those one-off ones that like TJ Pones or whatever makes, or Jargon Scott. Those ones where they kind of follow their own interpretation of certain characters, like Twiggles or Cadence, who really likes pizza. They're pretty funny, but they don't usually have a continuous story. They're kind of just like one-off little joke comics. Oh, speaking of TJ Pones, one of the comic series on Tumblr I used to follow was Horsewife. That was a pretty funny fan comic as well. Followed Brownie Bun, aka Horsewife, as she goes about her life living in human land with her husband Richard. It's actually pretty cool. I think they're still continuing it, like sharing it on Twitter instead. I'm not really sure. But yeah, Horsewife is a great comic if you haven't read it. Brownie Bun.
Anyway, comic, I've actually sent you some of Bob
best
the
fan
Dalek's
pony.
work.
Huh?
I put it in the chat that we've done some of Bob the Dalek's work.
Oh, I recognize now. I think I was talking with someone or overheard someone discuss that the art style would work great for, the Cyanide and Happiness card game, Joking Hazard. I was talking with someone, I think, Bob the Dalek, his work would work well for a Pwnafide expansion, unofficial obviously, of Joking Hazard. Let me just find one that would be fun. Okay, see, open that and download it so I can.
Yeah, I
in the
actually
stream.
do have 3 more, but I don't think we should show them because they're slightly on the mature side, if that makes sense.
This one's not that immature. Not that inappropriate. Sorry. It's that's not that. There we go. Browse. Where did I put it? Somewhere in my downloads. There it is. Just in case, like, you may have seen Bob the Dalek and not known it. because I've seen this art all over the place, reposted probably without permission by a lot of people. I've seen, not this particular one, but various art like it and such. Yeah. Bob the Dalek is great. The humor and the art style would work well if they ever decided to make a unofficial, ponified version of Joking Hazard.
Yeah, I always love the jokes that these comics have. I think the best ones are always the ones involving Starlight and Sunburst.
Oh, I got a few more of those as well.
So yeah, I'm out of things to talk about. So we still have like 20 more minutes or so of the panel. So, you guys have anything else you want to bring up? Speak now, or forever hold your peace.
Anime Wolf Gamer, do you have any more to talk about?
Well, there's like don't show this on screen. But I remember there was this other comic I remember called the Equestria Girls, The Walking Dead. Yeah, that was.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, that was a thing. I didn't even realize it existed.
The Trotting Dead.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great like My Little Pony crossover universes. Not just like Fallout Equestria, the biggest and most well known. But there's like the Trotting Dead. There's the Doctor Who stuff. There's I think there even was attempts to make a crossover between My Little Pony and Borderlands, which I still think would be great, but I haven't like found any like crazy fan fictions or art that crosses those over. Like it would be interesting. I wonder what Handsome Jack would be like as a pony. I mean, there was My Little Pony references in Borderlands with Handsome Jack's pony, Butt Stallion, that was literally Rarity. Apparently, a diamond horse with alabaster alabaster coat, purple hair. Apparently, it ate iridium and shat out guns. But it was more or less a My Little Pony reference because it was basically Rarity. I don't know what the name says about the creator's thoughts towards My Little Pony, but you know. But Stallion's a reference to My Little Pony. But
yeah, speaking of the Trotting Dead, there's also been another version of The Walking Dead as well with the Equestria Girls characters as well.
Oh yeah, there's also Fallout Equestria Girls, which is like the Fallout universe, but through the mirror portal kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna need to turn the light on in here because it's getting dark.
So I guess I could spend the last couple minutes going over once again the new format for what I'm going to do at future conventions that are online, as well as possibly just more often in general on my channel. Name might change, but I'm thinking of starting like a live stream kind of series called like Comic Book Club or something, where prior to the live stream or the panel at the convention, there'll be required reading by the audience, where they have to have read in some way, shape, or form a arc in the My Little Pony comics, probably a newer comic versus an older comic, since season 10 for the IDW comics should be coming out. And we'll have a discussion solely on that arc. Or that comic if we choose individual comics versus entire arcs. And that'll probably be the new format. I will definitely be at other conventions as Nuclear Horseman Studios. Perhaps at the next LunyCon, I might even show up as my non-pony online identity. Sorry, the speaker in my ear is a second off, and it's borderline speech jammer, so it's messing me up. But I might show up as aptly unnamed, my non-pony identity. Because I have multiple accounts. Unfortunately, Comic Sans Pony is a bit pigeonholed into My Little Pony stuff, so I had to make another channel for non-pony stuff. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about? I guess we can end early.
Well, there's one more comment that I want to talk about, and it's honestly how I actually got started into giving MLP a real proper chance.
Okay, what is it?
Right, so I was a fan. I am still a fan of the series Black Lagoon, and I actually found out MLP voice actors who were in that who were
In the same series, so
I wanted to give it another chance. Funny enough, these two have actually combined to each other. My Little Pony meeting Black Lagoon. It's called Rogue Diamonds.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That sounds pretty cool, actually.
It is. I'll send you
a picture of the first, chapter 1, basically.
but this one's slightly on the mature side,
Be
so
appropriate to show.
Yeah, like
It's
don't
not
show it, but
it's
yeah,
not like
that's
pornographic or something. It's just like a more anthropomorphic Spike in a pair of boxers. So I just don't know if it's appropriate to show in this stream.
yeah,
Don't wanna
that's why
get
I wanted to
flagged by
you
YouTube
personally.
in general or banned from LunyCon. So
And it's also this comic is also slightly on a mature side as well, so
I would not recommend showing it here. Just wanted to show it to you personally.
okay. So yeah. Probably gonna get more views on this from the VOD versus the actual stream. I don't think very many people were watching. It's kind of a bad time of the day. I can't calculate time zones. This is why we're at 4 p.m. Because when I signed up for the panel, I said like 1 or 2 p.m., forgetting that the convention was scheduled in MST. And I live in EST, or EDT, which is like a 2 or 3 hour difference. So we ended up being at 4 p.m. So thank you to Zion and Anime. I never mentioned it. I mentioned it in a tweet, but I didn't mention it on stream. Robin0928 was supposed to be here, but they woke up not feeling well, so they decided to drop out. So yeah, thank you to everyone who did show up. Hello, anyone watching the VOD. If you made it this far, congratulations. I guess I can throw in the standard like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, yada 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 stuff. Hit the bell for notifications when I upload or live stream. Subscribe to my co-panelists' channels. Zion does reviews of the classic MLP stuff. In fact, I think he had a panel at Ponies Online last weekend.
Yeah.
Last weekend. Wow, I can't believe it was last weekend.
Yeah. Was that long ago? Or that short ago? I popped in, unfortunately, for the end of that panel, but it seemed like a pretty good panel from like the last 2 seconds that I saw of it.
You can always rewatch it again.
Yeah. Because the VOD exists on his channel. Anime makes reviews of MLP related content and is, I believe, still
Anime.
currently working on a fan dub of the IDW comics. I don't really know the progression of that project because fan projects can kind of take a while sometimes. So I will try to remember to include links in the description. I probably will forget, so just look their names up on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that they actually show up pretty early in search results.
Oh, I know mine does.
Yeah, it's Anime Wolf Pony, or Mark the Wolf or something.
No, it's like it's Anime Wolf Gamer. That's the name. That's the name that I go with.
Okay, I know you have like another name that you sometimes go by. So anything else you guys want to plug?
Well,
we have like 8 more minutes.
the Shadow Shah by Disana, I think that's her name.
Okay.
Yeah, this one is slightly more safer to show on here.
Okay, open original. Save image as to downloads. Again, credit to the artist. We're not claiming that we own this art. I just don't have the link. If someone wants to comment the link, I'll pin that comment in the VOD. Where is it? Where is it? So many things in my downloads. Too many, if you ask me. It's here somewhere. There it is.
Yeah, so Disana, she has done a few fan-made MLP comics. This is I can't remember which one. This might be her third one she's done fully. She's doing another one, and I've actually got it written down. The Storm's Lullaby.
And also, another interesting comic that I do occasionally keep up on is the one made by Lightning Bliss. I think it's like Science Rail or something like that. It's commissioned by someone whose OC is, I believe, named Science Rail, and it's just like a continuing comic about this this character and their antics involving a few of the other well-known analyst OCs. It's actually pretty cool. I'm not entirely sure what's going on in the story, but I do occasionally tune into what's going on in it, and sometimes they're interesting or funny, so I recommend them. Lightning Bliss is a great artist. And there's a lot of great artists in this fandom. Even if they don't like make their own comic or make comics in general, there's a lot of like talented artists in this fandom. In any fandom, really, but I happen to be in the MLP fandom and the Fallout Equestria fandom, and there's a lot of good artists. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
an inordinate amount of good artists. But unfortunately, if they tried to make their own like original content, sometimes like no one would view it, so they'd make My Little Pony or fandom fan art stuff to get known, and then they start making their original content, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" So yeah, follow your dreams, people. I think we're just gonna end 5 minutes early because we're out of things to fill time. I've been trying to make a fan comic section of the Them Pony Comics panel at like almost every single iteration of it, and usually it's like the last 10 minutes or even last 5 minutes that I try to squeeze it in, and today we stretched it to an hour, so I think we did pretty good. Didn't have any audio issues except for that one time when I accidentally turned off my Bluetooth headphones. And when I forgot to actually switch over the audio correctly at the beginning of the stream, but it wasn't nearly as bad as the previous stream, and we surprisingly had no dropped connection. So I think we're going to end on a high note. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, Them Pony Comics panel format. Whatever the next online convention that I go to, whether it be LooneyCon 3 or one of the other pony conventions, I will be testing out the comic book club or whatever I decide to call it. So you guys want to say goodbye?
Right. Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Good
everyone.
night.
Okay. Just gotta transition back to the black screen and stop.